Hey, Tony Carousel, New Haven Independent Newsbreak, June 21st, 2023. Longest day of the year and also first day of summer. So hopefully you were celebrating somehow. And got just a couple things today. Um, first thing, I've been trying to follow and update anything that I could find out about um, the outcome of Louis Klingert's basically representing himself in court, 2, 3 weeks ago. And the judge did decide and make a decision. So the judge for New Haven did make a decision, and in the case of New Haven versus Louis Klingert. And if you'd like to know what that is, aside from you checking things out on CaseNet, you can read next week's paper. And also, I'm hoping to be able to get a comment from Louis in the next couple of days too, to see what he might have to say about the decision. So anyway, going to leave you with a cliffhanger there. Also, I have been doing lots and lots of editing of pictures for years and years, of course. And recently, Photoshop, along with other softwares, has been doing different things with AI, or otherwise known as artificial intelligence. So this is pretty startling how what an amazing tool this could be too. So let me show you a couple of things. Okay, I'm going into this Adobe Photoshop. It's the beta version of Adobe Photoshop. And you have to be using one of the more current Mac computers. And you also have to be working in the beta version, which allows you to use some of the artificial intelligence. Now, if you had seen last week's paper, you would have seen Randy Schwenkert here holding up a piece of petrified wood. And in a lot of cases, I need a horizontal picture of some things that I take pictures of. And then so in cases like that, then sometimes I need to make it a horizontal image. So aside from cropping in really tight on Randy's face, here is something that Photoshop allows you to do now, called generative fill. So let me give you a little idea as to what it can do. So what I did was, with this image, I took the selection tool and I was able to essentially pop Randy out of the background. And it did a pretty clean job, and you can see it also cut out the area right around his glasses that might have shown up otherwise, like basically the background of where I photographed the picture. But it did a very clean cutout of him in just a matter of a couple of clicks, which is something very nice that I always really appreciate. Then I put in a background. I basically said, let me see something to put in behind him there. So I cropped it. You can see I cropped it so that it's more of a horizontal format. And then I said, let's put in a small town behind Randy there. So I tried originally putting in downtown New Haven, but it didn't recognize that as anything. So anyway, I just put in small Midwestern town. And so that it popped this in here. Now, just to give it a little bit more depth, then I also went in and let's see, I put in, I blurred the background. Let's see if I can get that to show up here. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so I blurred the background. So just to kind of give it that little pop. And then here's a startling thing. So you can do all kinds of things. I've been experimenting with this since it came out just 2-3 weeks ago. I asked, and just to see if it could, what it could do. You can see where in the original photo, the picture to the right side of where Randy is crops off most of his little finger. So I did a thing where I circled around and just did sort of a rough circle around where his hand, hopefully I could add on to it, or hopefully Photoshop AI could add on to it. And so then I asked it in the dialog box to add in the rest of the hand. And it made a little finger and the rest of the palm. Now, it's not perfect, of course, in terms of this, but, I could certainly clean that up. But it was, and you can see down by his wrist down there, I'd need to also do some things with that. But just in the matter of a few clicks, I was able to create a horizontal picture if I needed something like that and recreate his hand. And if you didn't know that I told you that, this said it had sort of recreated his finger, you probably would never have known this. But, so there's, this is good for doing pictures that are more illustrative. And this is not anything that I would do for a journalistic picture. You don't want to really be known for photoshopping, journalist pictures. So this would not be something that I would be using for anything in the paper that would basically be something that would be a journalism shot. Anything that would be more illustrative, then this wouldn't have any. This wouldn't violate any sort of journalistic integrity. Basically, that would give it something, a look that really wasn't a true look. So, but anyway, for those of you out there that might be interested in doing interesting things with your own photos, this is what's coming down the line, in terms of some pretty amazing tools. Now, I'm sure probably some of you had seen the different chat GPT text generating kinds of things. Of course, always looking for new tools and things. So I was, basically checking that kind of stuff out. But for images, to be able to take an image and then to be able to make these kinds of changes, it's a pretty phenomenal tool. So besides Photoshop, there are other tools, other image editing tools too, that are also being improved by being able to add these AI or artificial intelligence objectives. So, but anyway, just a little tip for any of you out there, because I know a lot of you, work with your images, and so this is a pretty cool thing. So if you see any YouTube videos and you think you might want to do some work on your images, this I would highly recommend the beta version of Photoshop and going in and working with generative fill. So with that, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Dave Granman and Shelter Insurance. And then also here's one of Dave's newest ads. And especially apropos for the July 4th holidays coming up. And so if you are in need of any advice or any kind of insurance for auto, home, life, and in this case right here, for if you're insuring other things, you can check with Dave. He can give you the answers on these different things. So with that, this is Tony Carasella signing off, New Haven Independent Newsbreak, and thanks for watching.